Hello and welcome to another episode of United for a Healthy Stoughton. My name is Stephanie Patton and I'm your host. And I'm here today with some special guests, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And our topic for the day is we're going to be talking about the Stoughton Youth Leadership Institute. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jael and I'm a senior at the Stoughton High School.
I'm Raksha and I'm a junior at the Stoughton High School.
Hi, my name is Beth and I am the AmeriCorps Massachusetts Promise Fellow at the Stoughton Youth Commission.
Great. So welcome to all of you. Thanks for coming on the show today. I'm excited that we're here to talk about this. So the Stoughton Youth Leadership Institute is a program that we've been hosting from the Youth Commission for, I think, 5 years now, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a program that we're able to do and that we're able to offer after school to Stoughton High students because we have been fortunate enough to have a Promise Fellow with us serving at the Youth Commission, and we've had a number of Promise Fellows over the last few years. We've had Beth for 2 years, which we're so happy about, and so sad that she's actually graduating from the program and from her time of service. So I'm going to let Beth talk a little bit about what Mass Promise Fellowship is and its relationship to AmeriCorps, and then we'll get into talking about what the Leadership Institute is. So Beth, take it away.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. So I'm an AmeriCorps Massachusetts Promise Fellow, and what that means is AmeriCorps is kind of a broad umbrella term, and it encompasses a lot of different things. The main goal of AmeriCorps is to help people and communities be safer, smarter, healthier, and helping strengthen those communities. So there are AmeriCorps members doing disaster relief, there are AmeriCorps members in education, there are AmeriCorps members doing all sorts of different things. The Massachusetts Promise Fellowship is a statewide program for Massachusetts, as the name suggests, and it is based on the 5 promises of what students need to be successful in life. So MPF, for short, is MPF is 40 different fellows across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The fellows do different after-school programs. I personally focus on the Stoughton Leadership Institute, but there are fellows doing tutoring programs, there are fellows doing mentoring programs, there are fellows doing all sorts of different things. The focus of MPF is for youth 6th through the 6th grade through 12th grade, and I focus on high schoolers. And really, it's just to help those youth be successful in life. The 5 promises, which is what MPF is based off of, include having a caring adult in your life, having an effective education, having access or having a healthy start to life, having an opportunity to do community service, and I'm blanking on the last one. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
That's okay. Opportunity to serve, did we say that once? Community service, a safe place, a healthy start, effective education, caring adult.
Yeah, got them. Okay, so the 5 promises are sort of the basis of offering what youth need. And so that's pretty much MPF in a nutshell. There are fellows doing great work across the Commonwealth, and I'm really excited to be part of that program. My host site is the Stoughton Youth Commission, and that's why I do the program SLI, and is the program I'm in charge of. Mm-hmm. Should we go into what SLI is now?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about SLI. And so we have Beth serving with us full time, which is amazing. And it's part, we put a small investment towards paying for a Promise Fellow. They get a living stipend, basically, because it is a year of service. They can serve up to 2 years, so which is why we've been fortunate to have Beth for 2 years. And they get to do a full-time project. And so the project here at the Youth Commission has been the Stoughton Youth Leadership Institute. So so let's talk about what that is, and then we're going to have the students share some of their experiences and go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good. So SLI is a program at the high school. It happens, there are 3 main things that we do. So we do leadership development, and we do community service, and we do college and career access. So for leadership development, if you could cue the slide, please,
some
Stephanie.
Pictures, yeah.
So we have meetings once a week. So those are focused on different leadership topics. The focus is to help these students be confident and sort of develop their own leadership abilities and just talk about that and have a safe place to discuss those things, because you probably aren't going to your friends and being like, let's talk about leadership. I don't think you're doing that. If you are, that's great. So basically the leadership workshops, this last year we really started with talking about what is leadership in general, and we covered leadership traits, we covered types of leaders, we covered what are growth zones and what is challenging yourself to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And then we sort of morphed into topics more like time management, knowing how to prioritize, knowing how to make goals. And then we sort of ended with diversity and covering culture. And so that was kind of a transition over the year from starting broadly with leadership and then going into the specific skills they need to be leaders and like talk about that and know sort of those hard skills that will really help you be successful later on in life. Because that's sort of the importance of doing SLI, is so that you can be successful wherever you go in the workforce, and these skills aren't always things that you cover necessarily in school. So I always try to make the workshops relevant to what you guys need to know and something that you can use all the time. So if you guys want to share any examples of what you all do, I don't know if you have any.
Maybe a favorite workshop or something that really sticks out in your mind?
I remember when we went to the Y conference, we actually led a workshop, and it was my first one, and I remember it because there was a lot of people, like there was a lot of unexpected people because there were supposed to be 2 different groups, but a majority of the people just came in the first group. And we had to sort of wing it from there, and I learned how to sort of adapt to the environment and how to like properly facilitate a workshop, and we played games, and we had our workshop about communication and leadership, and that was really helpful for me and hopefully for the other people who came to the workshop too.
Excellent. What about you?
I remember a workshop that I did with another person of SLI, and the main focus was diversity. So me and that other person, we led a workshop on how do we recognize like derogatory terms and cultural appreciation, and it was really fun because it taught us how to communicate and leadership skills, and that's what SLI really prepares us for.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, so we do a lot of, I try and make it interactive, not so much like let's talk about, or like let's make it like a class. I'm not sort of, I think you already do enough learning in the day, and by the end of the day you guys are tired, so I really try and make it interactive and have fun activities. Some of the pictures on, I think the slide we showed, are like making towers out of spaghetti, and like how does that relate to leadership? And also really having you guys, I think Jael mentioned this and also Raksha mentioned this, but they both had opportunities to lead workshops and really practice facilitating. And you learn a lot by doing that. It's a lot easier to say like, oh, I see what the person in front is doing. Maybe I know what that is. And then when you're the actual person trying to get people to stay on time and answer questions and have a discussion, like you learn a lot from that. So you guys hopefully got to practice those skills and really put them to use and like see how that works with your peers. So yeah.
Excellent. And I know another sort of specialty workshop that we are able to offer the students because we have a great relationships with the Sheriff's Office in Norfolk County is being able to take students off-site and go on the ropes course. And I know you work really closely with Matt over there who manages things to set up some kind of outside workshops to do some leadership skills. So you guys want to talk about your experiences at the rope course? There's some photos up. It looks awesome. It is awesome. Right.
Yeah. So the ropes course is a great opportunity. I think the main thing that we get sort of from the ropes course is sort of discovering how you do under pressure. It's really challenge by choice because you're going up, I think Jael and Raksha actually in some of those pictures, you're going up, I don't even know how many feet, like 20 feet, you're on the height of like a 1st-story building or a 2nd-story building. You're strapped in, obviously, for safety. But you're really like figuring out more about yourself and like how do you operate under pressure. And sort of once you do the ropes course, it's like, oh, public speaking or like some of these other things, oh, I've got that, like I can do a ropes course. I can sort of challenge myself and like know that I can overcome that challenge of like maybe a fear of heights or something else. Do you guys want to talk about the ropes course or any like fun things that you've done there or talk about it more?
Well, honestly, it's probably the best part of SLI in my opinion. Like Beth said, it is challenge by choice. It's like you go up there and you don't necessarily think about how it like connects to leadership or communication while you're up there, but then you come down and you're like, wow, so like Beth said, like if I can do this, then I can handle public speaking. So it's really engaging and really encouraging for life situations in the future.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it was just really fun to go up to the second part. You and me, we were like the only ones who went up. Everyone else was too scared. But honestly, it was just the fact that you could do it, and like Jael said, like, oh, if I can do this, then I can do public speaking. But it was also, oh, like you and me, we both did it together. So, you know, if we encourage each other and we, you know, work together, then this really is going to be so easy for us. So
And I know you guys do a lot of teamwork kind of games and stuff as well, where you have to problem solve together. And also, even when you're on the high ropes, your team is helping you, right? Because people are cheering you on, and also they're working on the belay at the bottom and making sure things are safe. And right, so it's a great opportunity, I think, that we're able to offer to do that. So that's great. Awesome. So let's talk about community service, because that's another really big component to what you guys do.
Yeah, so we meet once a week and we talk about leadership workshops, and we do a ton of community service. I believe like last year we did over 20 different community service opportunities, and like this year we volunteered around 20 times again. And that's a ton of different diverse opportunities. We're helping out at the elementary school sometimes with family game nights or like family craft nights. We're helping out with like the haunted hayride with the Stone Committee Events Committee. We're helping out with Christmas in the City. Really the point of community service for this group is sort of to get you guys, or I'm going to speak to you all a little bit, get you guys out and involved and sort of see what's happening in the community and know that you're able to help that, but also making those connections with community like partners and community leaders and sort of meeting them. And it's also good practice sort of for like seeing what some of these opportunities or seeing sort of what some of these organizations are doing, and maybe knowing like, oh, I really liked working with kids when I did this one community service opportunity. Maybe I want to do something with kids later in life. So it's really, there are a lot of great things that come from doing community service, and we're involved in a ton of different things happening in Stoughton. So it's a really good chance for you guys to be local leaders and sort of step up and be able to be involved in the community.
So you guys want to share some of your favorite examples of community service that happened over the year?
Personally, my favorite is, like Beth said, Christmas in the City. And that's around Christmas time, so I don't remember the exact dates, but like middle of December. And we would go to this place in Boston, and we help children that don't have like so much privilege or so per se. And we help them like wrap gifts, and we open like a indoor amusement park for them. And we each have a kid assigned to us, and we spend the day with them and help them, go on rides and get food. And it's just a really fun time, and it really helps you connect with the community.
Great.
I think mine was also Christmas in the City, because we were helping like so many people. I remember when people came out before, when we were helping, I was like, oh, we're just like sort of moving things here and there. But when people actually started to come out, I realized like, oh, we're doing this to help other people. Like, I mean, I knew what we were doing, but to actually see other people like, benefit from what we're doing, it was really fun. So that's why that was my favorite one.
Right. And so that one was in Boston. And do you guys want to give an example of maybe something? I know you also do a lot of community service here in Stoughton. So another project that you were involved with here locally too that you really enjoyed?
I did doing it for Diane at the Portuguese National Club, and that was like an auction, and we were helping with the food, serving food, and that was like really fun because we got to eat the food afterwards, which is always the best part. But it was just because people were coming to us, and we were like, hey, like, how are you going? Like, how's the whole thing? And it was really fun because there were other people from like another club helping, and we just, it was just fun because it was a lot of people. And
And that's a really important local fundraiser for the food pantry that happens every year. So that's a really great thing to be involved with, because I know that even that one night they raised thousands and thousands of dollars for our food pantries here in Stoughton. So that's terrific that you guys were involved with that. Jill, do you have another example of something too?
Another example that I liked was the haunted hayride, and that was, I can't remember the exact place, but
it's over at the golf. Is it still at the golf
Cedar
course?
Hill
Yeah,
Golf
right.
Course.
Yeah,
that's the name. It was like a kind of like another type of amusement park type of thing, and it was really fun because that was during my first year, and that was actually my first community service, I believe.
wow.
So it was really interesting to see like this is how engaging SLI could be with the community. So it was really fun.
Great. Yeah, and that's a huge community event. I know that's a lot of work for the events committee, so I am sure they very much appreciate having student volunteers helping out and managing all the people there. That's great. So let's see what else we have. College and career readiness, which is another area of focus.
Yeah, so college career readiness, there are a few things with that. So first of all, we're meeting weekly, but I also offer drop-in office hours, which are a time where people can come and just talk to me about life. They can also talk about college. They can talk about future goals, really anything they need to talk about. But I use those times as like meeting with students. I've helped students with their college essays. We've just brainstormed essay topics. We've talked about like what major they want to do. We've researched like how do you sign up for the SAT or like research colleges, and really like that time is really nice and valuable to have. The guidance office is incredibly kind and like let me use their space in their open common area. And a lot of times maybe if it's college specific question, I might be able to offer some light and shed some light on it. But a lot of times I'm sort of also directing back to the guidance office and saying like, oh, ask your guidance counselor. But really it's office hours are a time where I can sort of help like narrow down what students want to talk about and like sort of figure out what their focus is for college or career, and then know the places to go beyond that to get those resources. So office hours are time where we focus on that. And then I also offered a college knowledge series for juniors this spring. So juniors kind of met, and which was nice because they could sort of talk with each other and sort of sympathize where each other were in the college search process and just like have that as a support network. But also we focus on a topic every Monday for a few weeks. So like the first week was, what are college admission terms? Like what are the terms you're hearing around like all the time and maybe you don't know like the definition or meaning of, like what's the timeline look like? What are tips for writing your essay? How do you start writing that essay and get it done over the summer? What are things you need to do over the summer to make sure you're really prepared for the fall? And so just kind of covering those topics and talking to the students about those, and also like having you guys use each other as resources, I think is really valuable for just getting ready for college, because depending on where you are and like who you know and other environmental factors, like who knows where maybe you have a place to do that, like talking with family or friends, but like sometimes it's just hard to bring that topic up. So really trying to make a safe place where they know they can talk about that and sort of like explore different options. So I think, and we also go on college tours where that picture is from. So try and making that option available to everyone if they want to go. So that was actually a picture at Northeastern University. So I went with a few students up there on the train. So just trying to cover college and make sure it's on your radar and make sure you guys are like meeting the timeline for getting things done is sort of my goal with college and career readiness.
Yep. So do you guys have good examples of how some of that work has benefited you specifically?
Well, I was a sophomore this year, so I wasn't really like involved in the whole college thing, but I know Beth helped a lot of juniors because when I stopped by office hours and guidance, they were always like asking questions, and Beth was really nice and helpful. So,
Right.
This year I will.
You'll be taking more advantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the college tours because I did those sophomore year, but it really kind of got me thinking about, so this is kind of what I would need to do junior year or even senior year. We visited Boston University in MCPHS, and I really like the college tours because although it's like, it kind of felt stressful, it was like fun to think about, so this is what I don't like, or this is what I do like about this college. And it was really fun having that opportunity given by SLI to enjoy that.
Terrific. Great. So I think the last set of pictures we have are from a visit that you all had with Representative Kafka. And so I know he came, I was there that day when he met with all of you and took a lot of questions. And do you guys want to talk a little bit about what that experience was like? Were you guys there that day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you were. You're in the picture.
So I can talk about it, or you guys can go first. Either one. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. Representative Kafka actually visited us. I've been here 2 years, and he visited both years, which was amazing. I think that was really an opportunity to sort of hear from a representative and hear that he wants to hear your opinions and that you have a voice. Like, that was one of the great things I think that came out of that. And sort of like, he is there to listen to you as constituents. Even if you're not voting constituents, he is listening. And so it was also nice because he kind of teased out some of the differences between local law, state law, and federal law, and sort of how those all interrelate, and sort of the complexity of that, which I think was just nice to hear, because it really is, you can start local. Like, you don't always have to go down, you don't always have to start with a national law or state law. Like, you can start local and like have something happen in your community, and once you've like tested that out or gotten an initiative going, then like that can really take place, and you sort of go from like grassroots up. So I think that was kind of cool for you guys to hear, because if there is ever anything you want to do in like Stoughton or something, like start local, and then like who knows where that will take off to. So that was great that he came and visited.
Yeah. Were there pieces to that visit that you guys remember as sort of memorable, or that you particularly liked about it?
I think it was kind of interesting being there, because it was like, before I never really thought like I could have this like close of a connection to like legislative bodies and such. And it was interesting because he was just talking about how like if you ever have a suggestion, like you could always like talk to me about it. And it was just, it was really surprising that we had that connection.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there for the.
He
was there.
Okay, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. No, I don't. Everybody can be there for everything.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. And I think the other opportunity that we were able to do through your connection with the Youth Commission and Oasis is we put together a video to try to do some education for our town meeting reps around a local issue that we were talking about, the, banning marijuana shops in Stoughton. I know, Jael, you were able to participate in that video and share your opinion. And so I think, that's an opportunity to actually influence local government and, and to think about, because I came and spoke to you guys about questions that you all might have around the marijuana law and what does it mean, what's its impact. And I know that day, the group had so many great, thoughtful questions about what the law means and what your concerns were for your peers and, for the people of Massachusetts around how this law is sort of playing out. So that was exciting. It was a nice sort of overlap of the substance abuse work and the leadership stuff that you guys are doing, and some future opportunities that we might all have to do some stuff together. So that was very cool. So as we're coming into the last couple minutes of our show, I want you guys to sort of share with us like some of your bigger reflections about SLI, what you really sort of overall, what you like the most about being involved with SLI. And let's start with that kind of just generally.
Personally for me, I feel like SLI has really helped me develop leadership skills and just become like a future leader, because as part of the club, I'm a fundraising co-advisor. So along with my co-advisor, I develop fundraising projects for the school and how we can just get more awareness about SLI out there through fundraising tactics. And I think it's really enjoyable to have those skills, because it really encourages me to like pursue leadership skills in other clubs and such. So It's really encouraging.
That's great.
I think SLI, it's taught me how to sort of be on my own, like lead and talk to people on my own and do public speaking and explain to people what I'm trying to do. And we also do community service, which pushes me into at like Stoughton locally to help other people. And I think that's just the best part about SLI, because it just helps you realize what you can do.
So what's one thing, like, I'm sure there's more than one thing, but one thing that you feel like, wow, I learned that from SLI, and it's something that I'm going to carry with me?
I would say definitely public speaking.
Public speaking, yep.
Facilitating a workshop.
Excellent. Good. I don't know, Beth, if you want to answer that too. From a totally different perspective, right?
Yeah, well, I get really nervous public speaking, and I really had to push myself, I think, figuring out how to do that, because I was leading a meeting every week. So that was really a good learning experience for me, and I think hopefully I was able to help some people through it, just talking through it. I know the experience like firsthand, so helping you guys feel confident in doing that I think was valuable for me to like help with, and also like be practicing at the same time.
I think one of the pieces too that is sort of exciting too is as we transition from, we're going to lose Beth, that's our Promise Fellow, because she's graduating, and we are getting a new Promise Fellow coming in into the fall. We have to apply actually as an organization to be awarded a Promise Fellowship, and the Youth Commission has been very successful at that the last number of years, and so we're really grateful. And I think one of the things that's exciting about our incoming Promise Fellow is that she's a Stoughton High graduate. And I know you guys weren't involved directly with that. Rush, you were there for the interview processes, right? So we were able to invite some of the current students to participate in interviewing our final candidates and to really have a say in the future of this program. And And so I think that's also a really nice skill set. You guys did a great job kind of thinking through those interview questions, and really we had a hard decision. We had some really great candidates, and so I think it was awesome for you guys to also be able to see that interview process unfold too, from a different perspective, because hopefully that will help. That will be a skill that will be helpful to you in the future as well. So that's exciting. Why do you guys think it's important to be talking about leadership, or or to do community service? You can pick one or both of those questions to answer.
I think
you can go. You can go.
I think it's important because it really propels you into your community and among your peers, and it makes you someone to look up to, but also someone that can just work with everyone around you. So.
I think because eventually, as an adult or as a college student or even as a high school student, you're gonna have to do public speaking or facilitate a meeting, or just have to be on your own to just talk to people. And SLI really helps with that because it pushes you to learn new things and to apply those skill sets in real life.
Great. And so why do you think it's important for us to continue to offer something like SLI here in Stoughton?
Because SLI is the only thing that's offering it. It's like the only place where you can go to learn it. It's, well, not the only place, but it's the one place that really focuses on it and helps you build on it. So I feel like that's why this is really important.
Yeah, I really feel like if it wasn't for SLI, a lot of the skills that I did develop, I wouldn't have. So.
Wow, that's a great endorsement.
That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're coming into sort of our final minute here. So I want to ask Beth and our students if you guys have any last thoughts that something really compelling that you want to share with our audience at home about SLI, or as sort of a final thought.
Like they both looked at me. Yeah. So I always love hearing sort of what you guys say about SLI, because I think that's really important for me to hear and see like how your take on it and sort of what you get out of it, because I always put a lot of work and time into like whatever we are doing, and I wouldn't expect you guys to come if I wasn't putting that time in. And so really just the main point of SLI is to like have you be confident, have you believe in yourself that you can speak up, and believe in yourself that if there's something that you see happening in the community, something that you want to change, like you're able to do that. Like you have the skill set to do that. You have the tools and knowledge, and you just need that self-belief to get there. So hopefully we've created a safe place this year and last year where you can come, you can be comfortable, you can have fun, you can learn about things you're not always learning in school, and also take those skills and move forward with them and be leaders.
Awesome. So I think we're at the end. So I want to say thank you to Jael and to Raksha and to Beth for coming on. I want to thank the school. Stoughton Public Schools actually host this club at the school, so students don't have to travel after school when they want to participate. And if you're a student, watch for recruitment in the fall if you're interested in getting involved with SLI. And thanks.